Hello, welcome to Retail Focus. I'm John Suder. I'm here with my co-host, Bart Mroz.
Welcome to fun again.
Welcome. Before we get started today, Bart, why don't you tell me what your awesome thing is this week?
Not really awesome. I've been dealing with a lot of sinus stuff in the past few days, and it's been absolutely insane. I still don't know what's going on. They gave me a whole bunch of fun meds. Should that help? I'm going to say that's awesome.
All right, but at least you're getting better, perhaps, yes?
A little bit. I'm like, you can hear I need more meds. Because
I got a little
just
scratchy thing going on in my throat. I usually get hit really bad with allergies this time of year, and I'm just waiting for the tsunami of sinus issues.
Yeah, I mean, the trees are starting to bloom, so you're about to get hit. So Here we are.
I had pollen all over my car last week. I was like, uh-oh. All right. My awesome thing is, well, it's not really an awesome thing, and I'm not really surprised, but I don't know if you heard this, Bart, but Fyre Festival 2 is canceled.
No.
I can't believe an upstanding guy like Billy McFarland would try to, I don't know, pull off another fiasco, but here we are.
Yep. Same one.
Yeah. I don't know.
He went to jail for it.
He actually went to jail for it and said, nah, you know what? Second time's a charm. I don't know what those 20 people that bought tickets are going to do, though, man. I hope they get the money.
I don't know, but in my move, I actually found my Magnises card.
Yeah.
Which now is in a bucket somewhere.
I'm
going to keep it because it's just too funny.
It's a collector's item.
It is a collector's item.
All right. We'll have some more festival news in the bottom part of the pod. But first, let's start with the big story of the day. The China trade war escalates. I know we try to keep this podcast light, but this is something that we just can't ignore. This week, sadly, we've got even more tariff nonsense. Here's the deal. The president slammed Chinese imports with a jaw-dropping 145% tariff. Yes, you heard that right, 145%. China, not to be outdone, fired back with a 125% tariff on American goods. So if you're hoping for cheap sneakers or affordable soybeans, good luck. Those prices are about to go full rocket ship. And it's not just your wallet feeling the heat. Tech giants like Apple and NVIDIA got a temporary hall pass, but for everyone else, especially fashion, agriculture, and just about anything made in China, costs are up, profits are down, and some jobs are on the chopping block. Yale's number crunchers could say we see 740,000 fewer jobs in the U.S. by year's end, and the average tariff rate is now the highest since Teddy Roosevelt was in the White House. Meanwhile, both sides are playing hardball. China is telling airlines to stop buying Boeing planes. Hong Kong isn't shipping mail to the U.S., and the White House managed to confuse everyone with talk of some products facing a 245% tariff. That's the old tariffs plus new ones, in case you're keeping score. Bottom line, it's a high-stakes staring contest with both countries daring the other to blink first. In the meantime, global supply chains are sweating, prices are climbing, and everyone's wondering just how much winning their wallets can handle. But, We're doing this to death, but I'm sorry. This is very newsworthy, and we can't help but not talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, e-com, it's very newsworthy, especially for small businesses.
Yeah.
Few people personally now. They had stuff on they have stuff on containers right now going across the water, and when they started water, the tariff was whatever 10%, 20%, whatever that was. By the time it gets here, it's going to be, was it 200, whatever that was now?
So on Pivot, Scott Galloway had a story. He said, I spoke to a CEO this weekend. He had $50 million. He's a CEO of a e-commerce.
Some e-commerce brand.
I don't remember what the brand was, right?
Yeah.
He had $50 million worth of goods on a ship ready to go. Well, suddenly with all this back and forth, he now has to, instead of pay $50 million, he's got to show up to the docks with an $85 million check and a team of people to take the stuff off the container and repackage it. Because what people don't realize is when you buy things in China, you can have everything bagged and tagged and ready to go, meaning you take it out of the box, you put it on the shelf. You don't have to tag it. Everything is priced. He's got to get people to pull everything off of this container, repackage it, reprice it, and get it into the stores. And hopefully people will have enough money to buy this product.
So it's actually not when it gets to the port, by the way. It's about 2 days later, 2 weeks later, whatever that is. You can take it off the ship just fine. You have to actually pay the taxes on it. This is where the tax goes.
So it sits in.
You get a bill of landing. You get a bill of landing. 2 weeks later, you have to pay that tax.
Jeez.
So imagine shipping it, and it takes about 3 weeks to get here.
Right.
Imagine shipping it with say 10% or 20%. or even when it was high, right? 100%. And all of a sudden you have to do 250%. I mean, it's going to destroy all the small businesses. It's not helping anybody, I get, tariffs, like we said, tariffs are fine for certain things and surgically done for certain things across the board, going back and forth. And I think that one of the biggest issues I think that everybody's having with this is like, okay, you want to do tariffs, fine. But the up and down, we have tariffs on computers, no tariffs on computers. Well, maybe 2 days later, we're changing our mind. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, businesses thrive on consistency, and there is no consistency. And CEOs can't plan. No one can plan.
Nobody can plan.
Right. And meanwhile, consumer confidence is going. I mean, I know the stuff that I'm selling, I haven't made a sale in weeks because of all this. And I'm starting to sweat because people just are undecided. I have traffic to my websites. People look, but then they go.
Yeah, it's definitely, the market can be just volatile. It can be up and down, right? People don't like that. They want consistency. They want supply. It's like, we're gonna have this tariffs. Okay, it's a tax on us. Fine, it is what it is. But the upside down every 2 days, changing their minds. It's like, do it.
Yeah, Apple went and put 600 tons of phones quickly
on the way
to find out. Never mind.
Yeah. It's that's the thing. Everybody's doing logistics game like crazy, right? I mean, Tim Cook is really good at logistics, so he's not worried about it. But also, like all these bigger companies, they can last it. They can figure it out, right?
Sweat it out.
It's the small that can't.
The small ones can't.
Well, you just can't.
I'm reading all these stories similar to that $50 million guy, but people on a lot smaller scale that are going, wait, I import all the things that I make my jewelry with, which used to cost $100 is now going to cost $400. Game over. I'm done.
I've seen people go, I'm not even going to go get any of it,
Yeah, I think that is, you really hit the nail on the head there. I think that's what a lot of people are doing. People are just going, I'm going to wait.
I'm done.
Or I'm done. Or I'm going to just pivot to something else. I can't do this.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of people going, I'm not even go to the port and get this. I'm not even going to sign off.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there. Right.
I'll leave it there.
Look for it. Right. But they say that consumer uncertainty is as high as it's been or even higher since COVID. And I remember those days all too well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer. I think I'm just going to have a summer of George and do nothing.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what the next few weeks look like, right? Because it's going to be up and down. It's like, I think, we're going to start getting numbers from the first quarter of what's happening. I think we already did. I think the exports are down. Saw the stat this morning by like 64% from China right now. So you're looking at numbers. They're just, they're silly. So
yeah, well,
I don't know, man.
I think, and again, I quote Scott Galloway once more, but he's usually right. China can wait this out. They have a higher tolerance for pain. Americans get mad when their Wi-Fi glitches out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, but I think people forget that China has done since 2000s, like beginning of 2000s, like they changed their infrastructure. Since 2008, they started building their high-speed rail. Yeah. And it's exploded because they had manufacturing everywhere and they do all that stuff. They've grown up really quickly.
Yeah. And the other thing that China has done, which I keep an eye on because I'm kind of into this stuff, is they've got a handle on their pollution. Yeah. They used to be the biggest polluting country in the world because they were growing too fast and just was like, all right, I'll burn everything.
And they figured it out.
And now they're going to be the leader in climate conservation.
Yeah.
They went from like last to like, I don't know what position they are now, but they went from being the biggest criminal in climate to one of the best stewards of the planet.
They have figured it out. And they're making deals with all the other countries, to do their stuff. Like, they're playing the game.
Xi went to Vietnam and a couple other countries because no one trusts America anymore. And
I mean, China going to South Korea, Japan, and all the Asian countries and talking to them, that is unheard of.
Yeah. And he's saying, I'm a trustworthy trade partner. America, probably not.
It's going to be an interesting battle. Now, let's put a little bit of a happy spin on this, right?
Oh, please.
It's not happy. I mean, it is what it is, but let's talk about it. From a business perspective, there's always opportunity in volatility.
Yeah.
There's always something. Like, where's that opportunity right now? Like,
if you keep on
watching, it's, in any business we do, right? Like, where's the, who is actually going to survive it? Who is actually going to go up in things? Like, what can we service? What can we actually sell? What can we do this where there is opportunity there? Like, the market doesn't stop. People still buy things, it's going to decrease some of the stuff. Luxuries are definitely going to be down. Vacations are going to be down, things like that. But your usual things, where are they, right? Like, what are you selling to? So as much as that's a really weird spin on that, there's always opportunity everywhere. Like, every market has
food
this.
buckets, survival food bucket.
But healthcare, like any one of those things.
Ammunition.
That too, man.
It's dark. Sorry.
It's a little dark, but you're not wrong. So there's that.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to some happier stories. I don't know. I mean, this is the third week in a row we've had to talk about this, but it just keeps popping up like a whack-a-mole. It's
going to be, I think we're going to rename it to Tariff Corner.
Yeah, the Tariff Corner. That would be funny. All right, let's move on to some happier places. WordPress builds an AI site builder. So WordPress and its AI-powered pals are promising you can launch a professional, air quotes, website in minutes. Just describe your vision and voila, the robots do the rest. No coding, no crying, just a chat that pretends to care about your color preferences and business name. Want a coffee shop site? Just type it in. The AI will spit out a homepage, some generic text, and maybe even a stock photo of a latte. Don't get too excited. If you want anything fancier than a digital business card, like, say, actual online store or something that doesn't look like your neighbor's blog from 2012, you'll still need a human or at least a lot of patience. The AI is great at making good enough sites fast, but if you really want personality, custom features, or not to look like every other AI-built site on the block, you're back to hiring a pro. In short, AI site builders are the fast food of web design. Cheap, quick, and surprisingly decent if you're not picky. But if you want gourmet, you need a real chef. So I tried this out, and I copied a thread from one of these AI guys on Twitter, and it's basically the same. I'll walk you through it. You log in, you sign up, you describe your site, and it's all through a chat interface. You can upload your own images, and it gives you a website. The AI will ask you, it'll say, okay, so what I did a landing page for that ebook that I'm writing. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, write me an ebook for a topic. And it says, okay, it tries to figure out the nuance. Do you just want a landing page, or do you want a landing page specifically describing this ebook? You get a little further, you could do a little conversation. It goes, yep. The magic builds it. That it excels at. The design, a little bit to be desired, but it basically looks like a block-based website from WordPress, meaning you have your header block, you have your offer block, you have your pricing block, you have your form. That stuff is, for something like that, for a very simple business card site, as I described in the intro, it's good. Would I use it and would I pay $8 to $15 a month for it? I think for now I'm going to stick to Squarespace. But it did remind me, Bart, you and I had built something for someone recently using landingsite.ai, and I think their results were much better.
I love their stuff.
I'll tell you what, and that we don't get paid for this. Landingsite.ai, I'm telling you,
call us.
Call us, yes. We'll put your site together.
No, that landing, I found it a long time ago, and we're like, all right, let's test it out on something. I love it. We did it really fast. Changing it is really easy. You don't have to do much. You're like, I just want to change this or this, move this around, and it does it.
And but the neat, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The neat part about that was, like, I wanted to grab something and drag it, and it won't let you. You have to talk it through.
Yeah.
And I think that what that does is it trains you to be better at prompting. Not that it's there to teach you a lesson, but I think it's making you think about your decisions instead of, I'll just drag this back and forth. Just say, I want to make the button a little smaller. I want to change the curve of the button to 0.15. I want the button to be this hex number. And
the other thing, a little more complex, because we had trouble with the forms. Remember when you send it out, some of the fields weren't going out there, and all I typed is all the fields need to be sent in email, and it did it without like me doing anything else. They're like, oh, okay, here you go. Here's the title as well. Well, I'm like, oh, all these fields I want required. Boom, done. I want to drop down with these like things, and I'm like, okay, I like this.
Yeah. But and again, anyway, we're talking about landing site.ai. But specifically with WordPress, I don't think it is there yet. I think it will get there.
Yeah.
I think it's still very early, but they could learn a lot from this other company. I think if you're a small business, you should stick with either just regular WordPress or Squarespace.
Squarespace. I mean, I wouldn't go crazy with it. Like even Wix is fine. People are like, what's the other one?
Webflow.
But Webflow is complex.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go there.
Yeah. Because remember we had our site on our Webflow for a while, and I just didn't understand how the SEO was happening. It was very, very complicated.
Anywho.
So anyway, if you want to try WordPress.com, it's on the WordPress.com, not WordPress. What's the other WordPress URL? There's .com, which is the fully hosted.
.org is the
org. Okay, so WordPress.org is an organization. WordPress.com is the company where you can do self-hosting there and all that stuff. So you can try it there. WordPress.com/AI-website-builder. Use up to 30 free prompts and decide if you want to upgrade. I mean, I think if you're into WordPress, you're into monkeying around, go give it a try. But as I said, if you want gourmet, you need to hire a chef.
There you go.
All right, more festival news. That BNPL life. I put this in this morning because I kept seeing this stat that 60% of the concert goers to Coachella were buying their tickets and accoutrements using buy now, pay later, which I think is insane. But here we are. So here's the tea. People are out here living their best lives by using buy now, pay later, aka BNPL, to snag Coachella tickets and order DoorDash like there's no tomorrow. Because who wants to save money when you can just pretend you've got it? Coachella tickets are basically the adult version of a shiny toy you can't afford but desperately want. They start around $600, which is a lot unless you're a trust fund baby. Enter BNPL plans that let you pay a tiny fraction up front, like $19.99 or $49.99 plus convenience fees, and then stretch the rest out over a few months. It's like saying, I'm broke now, but I want to look cool later. Just don't miss a payment or get your tickets canceled and you're left with a vague promise of a credit for next year, because nothing says fun festival like financial stress and payment reminders. And if you're hungry, no problem. DoorDash has teamed up with Klarna so you can order your late night stacks and pay for them in 4 easy installments. Oh, this is insane. It's the perfect excuse to binge on fries and sushi while pretending you're budgeting responsibly. Just remember those interest-free payments can turn into late fees faster than you could say extra guap. So the bottom line, BNPL is basically the financial equivalent of YOLO. It lets you live large now and deal with the consequences later. If you're cool with juggling payments and dodging fees, go ahead. Buy that Coachella ticket and order your entire dinner menu on DoorDash. Just don't act surprised when your bank account gives you the side eye next month. There you have it. The modern way to party now and panic later.
No.
They're having a real problem with BNPL with younger people because they let's just say when you're younger, you're not fiscally responsible.
Yeah, of course they are. The numbers are insane. Like when DoorDash or whatever announced Klarna thing, I was like, why? That makes no sense. It's just crazy. What?
So BNPL for 2025 is supposed to account for 1.4 of overall retail sales. They say the industry's high growth days are behind it because it was a novelty, but it's destined to never get more than 100 million users projected to use it by 2027. Per user spending is also increasing, with BNPL users making larger and more frequent purchases.
I can't. I just can't. That's just silly.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than putting it on a credit card, I guess. But when you start stacking BNPLs, that's just as bad as having.
Yeah, but it has expiration date on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At some point, they're just going to charge you anyway. And it's, 25% APR.
29.9%.
Whatever that is right now.
It's only going to
why? Some of these places, some of these things should not have this. delivery of
The
food
DoorDash
should not
thing
happen.
the DoorDash is just bonkers to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I can see the Coachella thing. I mean, those tickets are not cheap. It's a whole travel thing, I guess.
yeah, because what people are doing is they're using BNPLs to pay for their meals, pay for their lodging. They're just stacking it up and going, well, I'll worry about it later. It's Coachella, man. It's Coachella.
Yeah, I guess you can. Fine. But the food delivery, that just kills me. That one just, what?
So
Don't do
I'm
that.
looking at a report from a few years ago. More than 1/5 of consumers use BNPL. Most BNPL borrowers took out multiple simultaneous BNPL. As I said, they're stacking them. Nearly 2/3 of BNPL loans went to borrowers with lower credit scores, and BNPL borrowers were more likely to hold higher balances on other credit accounts. Young borrowers held more BNPL debt as percentage of the total consumer debt.
Yeah.
Oh, kids. Save your damn money, would you?
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that, man, friend.
No, I don't either. All right. Our next story. We're still on that AI tip. So we're going to talk about Algolai's AI shopping tool. Yes. I've never heard of it either, but I thought this was kind of interesting. Oh, it's Algolia. Algolia is like Mongolia, but with my buddy. We went to Mongolia with my buddy Al. Algolia just dropped a shiny new tool that uses AI to help shoppers stop freaking out over too many choices. Instead of just throwing product lists at you, it creates smart, easy to understand guides that explain product features, compare similar items, and break down categories like a pro shopping buddy. So whether you're clueless about TV specs or torn between brands, these guides give you the lowdown in plain English, helping you decide faster and with less buyer's remorse. For retailers, it means happier customers and fewer returns. A win-win. Developers love it too because it plugs right into existing sites with easy APIs and dashboards, so stores can start serving up these AI-generated guides in no time. Bottom line, Algolia shopping guides are like having a semi-personal shopper powered by AI, making online shopping less of a headache and more of a breeze. So I tried to test this out, but it's one of those request a demo thing because of the API, so I couldn't play with it. But the things that set Algolia apart is intent-driven content. So the tool is designed to understand and act on shopper intent, not just generate from prompts. This results in more relevant, actionable guides that help shoppers make decisions and reduce returns, which is very important. And it gives you editorial control. Merchandisers and marketers can review, edit, and customize AI-generated content before it goes live, ensuring accuracy and brand alignment. It integrates with search. By leveraging Algolia's search index, the guides are context-aware and tailored to the actual products and categories on the site, rather than being generic or off-topic. I think that's important. The tool is built with privacy-first principles and supports personalized experiences, which is not always the case with other AI content tools. It also has built-in feedback mechanisms that allow continuous improvement of content based on user interactions and preferences. So I think this is the future of search. And I like how it can plug into your site and make your site a search powerhouse just based on your products and not the entire world. What do you think?
It's kind of nice. Although for a really small inventory, that's kind of sucky.
Yeah, and I'm sure it cost a fortune. I did not look up the price because I saw request demo and bailed out.
But they're either going to be on revenue or it's going to be per item. To play that.
So you can do the startup for free, up to 10,000 searches a month for free, 1 million records included, AI features to test. So the growth plan is free / pay as you go.
Yep.
Free up to 10K, 50 cents per additional 1,000 search request. This is actually kind of affordable. And then your higher plans, which would be your bigger stores, would do premium or elevate, and you have to request pricing.
Yeah.
There's a big feature list here. It's algolia.com/pricing if you guys want to check it out. I am going to try to plug this into my site if it'll let me. I'll give you a report next week if I can get it to work. If not,
that'd be fantastic, John. Live reporting.
Or it's like, I got to go. All right. Let's wrap it up for this week. We hope you learned something, but if not, at least you wasted some time. We'll be back next week with more questionable advice and unsolicited opinion, and hopefully no more tariff terrors. If you'd enjoy this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. If you prefer the video experience, you can check out our YouTube channel, which I am seeing some growth on there. So some of you actually do watch our YouTube. I was pleasantly surprised. Lastly, check us out on the socials. We're on Bluesky, Twitter, Facebook, and sign up for our newsletter where you'll get extended show recaps and behind-the-scenes info on the show. Links are in the show notes. Bart, closing thought.
I hope your days are sunny.
It's going to be sunny here. It's going to be 82 on Saturday in Philadelphia. I will be officially shedding the hoodie for the final time, I hope, because as much as I love hoodie season, I'm just tired of wearing hoodies.
It's supposed to be really nice on Saturday. And then we're still 65s, 50s, 69. Yeah.
It'll be a nice Easter. All right, everyone. No matter what you celebrate, have a happy holiday, and we'll see you on the internet next week. Until next time, may your internet be fast, your video calls be clear, and your mute button always work when you need it most. Peace.
Peace.
What do you do now?